Hi, my name is Halley, and I'm an alumni of Berklee College of Music, and I've been teaching cello and violin lessons since there were kids younger than me to teach. So in this video, I want to show you how to apply the first fret's finger guide on this violin here. It already has some tapes, but I'm going to take them off and I'm going to show you how to do all that. This is my student's violin, actually. And as you can see, there are tapes on it already, but they're not quite in the right place, I've found, and they're kind of peeling off and coming loose. So we're gonna change it to this nice finger guide. So since this installation requires that I loosen the strings pretty far, I always start with a cleaning, because look at all the rosin caked up here, and you don't even know what's on this fingerboard. It's a rental instrument, so we're gonna help it out a little bit. So let's get started. As you can see, I have everything ready to go already. I've got the violin, of course. I laid down a towel so that the violin doesn't get scratched, but also my table doesn't get scratched. And I have my finger guide. I have some Lysol wipes for the fingerboard when I need them. And I have tissues and paper towels to get that rosin gook off. First, I have to loosen the strings. So I'm going to take the fine tuners out as much as I can, because when I put the strings back on, that way the student has more room in them to use, because they can get down pretty fast, and these are not the most pleasant fine tuners to work with. They're not, they're a little bit hard to turn, and I think, you know, these fine tuners are integrated into this bridge, as you can see. So, I'm sorry, tailpiece, not bridge, obviously. And I'm gonna have to get this student a new tailpiece and put it on so that I can change the fine tuners, because these are pretty bad. So I think I will be able to do that in a future video, so watch out for that. Okay, now those are good. Okay, now I'm gonna loosen them one by one. And keep in mind that when you do this, you're gonna loosen all the strings, right? But guess what's gonna happen when you do that? The bridge is going to come right off and fall right down. And we don't necessarily want that, but we don't really have a choice right now. I mean, I've done it without completely removing the strings and the bridge before, but I really want to get in there for a good cleaning, so we're just gonna do it the hard way. Oh boy. Okay, one string left, and I'm gonna have to hang on to the bridge here. There we go. Oh, and before I even do that, you know what I want to do? I'm going to get a tissue and I'm going to put it underneath the tailpiece so that when the tailpiece falls down, it doesn't scratch the instrument. So here I go. Woo. I know where this was. That's probably the part you didn't see, is that I kept track of where on the body this bridge was, and I'm going to keep track of which way it was oriented. So I'm gonna put it exactly how it was and over here, so I can just grab it when I need it. Okay, last string, here we go. Oh, this is really in there, hang on. Oop, there we go. All right, let's get these strings out of the way. And maybe this is lazy to you, but I keep my strings wound and just pull them back like hair. Oh, see how much rosin there is? I don't know if you can see this, but it's all over my hand. So now I just want to get a tissue and kind of get all the excess rosin off of here. I might also have to use a paper towel if this is not enough, because there's some really caked stuff there. I don't have anything on this paper towel. It's just a clean, dry paper towel. I don't particularly want to put anything on the body of this, and I'm not going to wipe the body with the Lysol. And the tissue stuck in the fine tuners. Okay. And now, that's garbage. Now I'm going to take these disgusting, sticky, crappy tapes off. There we go. One more. And if you can see a difference between where the tapes were and the rest of the fingerboard, then there's gonna be a lot of gook on my Lysol wipe. So here I go with the Lysol wipe. And again, I don't want to touch the body of the violin with this. I just want to do the fingerboard here. So let's try to get this sticky nonsense off of here. This is a rental violin, so I don't know how many people have used this. Oh, and look, see, that's what I'm getting off of it. And that is not the varnish, that is just gook and dirt. As you can see, the fingerboard is still fine. I mean, it looks a little wet because of the wipe, but it's fine. It's not actually taking the color off of it or de-staining the wood or anything. It's just dirt that, for whatever reason, the rental facility decided not to clean it before they gave it to another student. So if I start my own instrument rental business, I will so clean every instrument that comes my way. I'm gonna clean the back of the neck a little bit too, because, you know, that's where people are touching all the time. All right, that's not so bad. Ooh, and then you know what I want to do? I just want to do a little bit on the chin rest, because that's the other place that people touch all the time. And I know that I've touched this violin, I've played this violin myself, and I think I got some makeup on it. So yeah, I mean, that's dirt. That's not just my makeup. It's disgusting dirt. And then I'm just gonna make sure everything's nice and dry. Dry, dry, dry. These Lysol things are pretty good. They just kind of air dry really nice too. But I want to make sure that my chin rest really gets dry. All right. Now for the fun part. So I have my finger guide here. And as you can see, this is by First Frets, and it's for a 4/4 violin, a full-size violin, or a 14-inch viola. They make them in all kinds of sizes though. And then I'm just going to peel the sticker off of its backing. And the adhesive on these finger guides are really awesome, so they don't like peel off of the violin like some tapes that you've probably had before. Okay, I'll try to put this so you can see. So here's what it looks like off of the sticker back. It's clear and it has lines outlining the fingerboard, and it's got your finger lines on it, but everything else is clear. You'll never even see the black lines or the violin 4/4 viola 14-inch. You'll never see that. It'll just disappear right into the fingerboard. So I kind of take it like this and I line it right up with the nut I actually butt it up against the nut. Sometimes it takes me a couple of tries to really get it in the place where I like it. Okay, and then I just kind of gradually let it go as it goes. Otherwise you'll get bubbles in it and you don't want that. So get this center down first, and then we will, it's almost like if I had a squeegee, I would squeegee it out the sides like that. And I really work it in because I want it to stick really good. Sometimes I rub it on with my fingernails just to make sure that it really sticks on there. Excuse me. So this is kind of what it looks like right now. I haven't gotten the, oops, when I did that, my tissue fell out. So I haven't even put the sides down yet. And now I will, and I'll kind of go from the center. It's almost like applying one of those iPhone screen protectors, but I'm good at this, I'm not good at that. Give it a little rub with the fingernails to make sure it's really on tight. Work out any bubbles, which it doesn't seem like I have any. Yay. Yeah, it's looking real nice now. Yay, nice and shiny. All right, I guess you see the writing on there, but it's not very much, and when I put the strings on, you'll hardly see it. But yeah, this is what the first frets looks like on a violin. It's nice and crisp and clean. Got different colors for different fingers, which is great for the kiddos, because you just say orange, blue, red, first finger on the yellow, stuff like that. All right, now I am in reassemble mode. So I've got to put everything back on. I'm going to start with the middle strings, like D and A, because that's just best for me. Oh, and you know what? There's some rosin on, oh, too many tissues. Rosin on the strings that'll also just give a little clean off. Just scrub each one a little bit. Oops, too many tissues. Here's the E string, of course. I've got the supporter plasticky thing on there. Here we go. Just a little dry wipe with a tissue is fine. There you go. Now I'm going to start with the D string, putting it back on here. And keep in mind that I'm gonna have to settle it. I'm gonna hook it into this fine tuner. Sometimes I use a pen or a pencil just to get something in there. And then here's my bridge, which I very carefully laid like that, so I know it goes exactly like this. I'm gonna actually wipe this off a little with a tissue too. It's good, it's fine. So now I know where to put the bridge, but if you don't feel comfortable doing something like this, don't. If you don't think that you would know where the bridge goes when you have to put it back on, don't do it. So I'm not going to make this all the way tight yet. I'm just going to lay each string there and see what we get. So here's the A string. I'm trying to be responsible. It's not working. Okay, hook it into the fine tuner, and then we can reel it back in. And this bridge, I noticed before, was not standing totally straight up. It was a little crooked, so I'm gonna fix that now that I can. Here's the G. Oh, I got a little bit unraveled from the place I wanted it to go, so yeah, there we go. That's better. Winding the string is a whole other thing, and maybe I'll do another video on that sometime. So G goes into the fine tuner, and then I tighten it just a bit. So you've probably noticed that when the strings were off, I wasn't like shaking this around or holding it, you know, I showed you a little bit, but I made sure to keep it still and on its back. And that's because violins, well, violins, cellos, violas, basses, all those, the string family, has a sound post inside that goes from the bottom to the top. And if you let all the tension out, that sound post can just fall out of position, and it's really a pain to get it back in. You need special tools, or a special tool. And while I've done it before, it's not something I'm very good at, and I really recommend that if that happens, or if your sound post falls out, that you go to a luthier and get it done there, because you'll sit there for hours. Okay, so I'm putting the E string back on, and I have this little, whoop, here it goes, this little plastic doohickey on it. I'm gonna try to make it so you can see it. I have a little plastic thing there. Some people have different colors. Some people it's black, some people it's green. This one is clear, which I think is awesome. And it just, the E string is really tiny and sharp. So when it sits on the bridge, we want it to sit on that plasticky thingy so that it doesn't cut, so that the string doesn't cut into the bridge gradually over time. Because then you'd need a new bridge. And I can't really help you with that either. Okay, E string into the fine tuner. We'll place our plastic thing, and here we go with the peg. All right. Here we are. Now, my least favorite part is tuning this all back up, and as I'm doing that, I do make sure that the bridge is staying in position instead of falling over like this gradually, because it will when I start really tuning the strings up, because totally not in tune. You can't even hear a pitch. All right, so here we go. that's pretty good. Good enough to, it's close enough, and I know I'm gonna have to tune it a couple times before it stays reliably. So yeah, this is our finished violin. Looks nice, looks clean, looks crisp, easy for students, especially the young ones, to follow. And even though this is for an adult student of mine, I still think it works great and it's reliable. These things, these first fret things, and the don't fret line as well, are very reliable. I find that they're in tune 99.9% of the time, and they just work, and they just go on, and it doesn't peel off, it doesn't do anything weird, it just helps. So I hope that you learned something here, and I hope that you'll be able to do this too. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out below by commenting. Thank you. Bye.